welcome back to my channel. This video today is coming to you by request. I've had a few people ask for picture book recommendations about friendships, and I have a bunch to share with you. This is a great time to be talking about them because students have been in school for a few months and they're getting comfortable with each other, maybe a little too comfortable, and aren't being as kind or as friendly as maybe they should be. And so it's a great reminder to be talking about friendships and being kind to one another and what it means to be a friend. And rather than just telling them what that looks like, picture books are a great way to start that discussion with them and to talk about what the characters in the books are doing and how they can apply that to their own lives. I'm going to be sharing 7 different friendship picture books with you, and I have an interactive read aloud lesson to go along with each one. I will leave all the links in the description box down below where you can click on it to grab them for your classroom to go along with each book. I originally had only 5 books, but I went back and added 2 more. And there are so many books out there about friendship, but these ones are my favorite. So let's get started on these friendship books that you can share in your classroom. The first one that I have is one of my absolute favorites, and I know that I've shared it on my channel before. This one is called Strictly No Elephants. In this book, a young boy has a pet elephant. How neat is that? And he is so excited for Pet Club Day. He's going to bring his pet elephant and they get all ready for Pet Club. And when they get there, there's a sign on the door that says Strictly No Elephants. He's devastated, and his elephant is devastated too. And we see how he and the elephant cheer each other up and make each other feel a little bit better. Then they run into a young girl who has a skunk for a pet, a rather unusual pet, and she knows she's not going to be let into the pet club either because she doesn't think anyone else wants to hang out with a skunk. So the 2 kids and their pets decide to create their own club where everyone is invited, no matter what kind of pet they have. It's an amazing book about showing how friendship means including others, even if they might be a little different than you. A great one to share with your students to talk about friendship and including others. The next book that I have is Misha Makes Friends. Misha loves to make things. She loves to create things, but one thing she struggles with is making new friends. She just doesn't know what to say or how to say it or even when to say it. She really wants friends, but just doesn't know how to go about doing that. But one day she discovers that she has this special talent that just might help her navigate those tricky social situations. This is such a warm and affectionate book that talks about the joys and difficulties of making and keeping friends, and one that I think some of your students will definitely connect with and will help them as they try to make friendships on their own. This next one talks more about what it's like to go from enemies to friends. This book is called Enemy Pie. In this story, the young boy is so excited about summer. He thinks it's going to be a great summer until Jeremy moves in. And Jeremy does things that he doesn't quite like, and he's decided it's his #1 enemy. So his dad decides to help him out. He says, I'm going to make enemy pie to make your enemy go away. But you have to do something first. So he tells his son that he needs to spend the whole day with Jeremy, doing things that he likes to do and that they like to do together. The boy thinks this is a little weird, but he goes along with it because he really doesn't want this enemy around anymore. So he spends the whole day with Jeremy and kind of comes to like him and decide that maybe they could be friends. They do have a lot of fun together and they have a lot of things in common. So that night, when his dad serves the enemy pie, he gets really worried that Jeremy's going to be poisoned or something. But what your students might be able to figure out is that Dad was tricking him just a little bit and that he wanted him to just get to know Jeremy better and realize that they could be friends. Sometimes when you don't know a person, you don't know that you can be friends with them. It's really a sweet lesson in the difficulties and the rewards of making new friends. Another great friendship book to share with your students. Another book that I have about making friends is The Name Jar. In this story, a young girl has moved to not only a new school, but a completely new country. And she's a little nervous that the kids are going to make fun of her name. So her new classmates decide to help her out, and they put a jar on her desk and come up with all sorts of names that she could go by. None of them fit quite right, but then a young boy goes out of his way to share how special he thinks that she is, and it makes her feel proud of who she is. And she decides to keep her original name and not choose a new one. This book shows that in friendships, whether they're new or old, how those small actions can make a huge difference for someone else, and will encourage your students to reach out to others, especially someone who might be new, and help make them feel comfortable in a new situation. A great book for talking about making friends with someone they've never met before. The next book that I have is called Those Shoes. In this book, Jeremy really wants a pair of these very popular shoes that all the other students have, but his family can't quite afford them. And so they decide to go to a thrift shop, and he finds those shoes. And they don't really fit, but he's determined to wear them and really wants to keep them on, even though they don't fit right. Well, he notices another student at school who had been nice to him earlier in the book, and realizes that this other boy's shoes are falling apart. So Jeremy realizes that to be a good friend, he's going to share with him the shoes that he has that don't fit him anymore. And he discovers that friendship means a lot more than just a pair of shoes. And this is a powerful book that will help you talk with your students about how being a good friend sometimes means doing things that might be hard for us, that might not be exactly what we want to do, but will make somebody else happy. And the interactive read aloud lesson for this one is not out yet, but it is one of the first lessons that will be featured in the Colorful Apple Book Club that I can't wait to tell you more about. I'll leave a link in the description box down below so that you can get on the wait list to learn more about the Colorful Apple Book Club and be the first to grab this new lesson plan along with quite a few others. A huge part about being a friend means being kind to others, whether it's being kind to the friends that you have or reaching out to others and being kind to them and possibly making new friends. So the next book that I have for this is Be Kind. This story, told through the viewpoint of a child, is a thoughtful, introspective look at what it means to be kind and empathetic. But it's also concrete in sharing specific ways that kids can be kind to one another, whether it's to their classmates or to their family at home or to an older neighbor. It gives lots of great examples of how we can be kind and build friendships with one another. I've talked about this book before on my channel, and I have a free interactive read aloud lesson that goes along with it because I know how important it is to help students understand what it means to be kind and how we can make friends by being kind. So make sure you grab that. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. And this last book that I grabbed at the last minute because it's another way of talking about how to be friends with others, especially in the classroom. Now, I've lost the book cover for it, but let's see if you can figure out what it is just from this picture. If you guessed We Don't Eat Our Classmates, you would be right. In this story, Penelope Rex is a brand new student at her school, and she's really excited to go to school and make new friends, but Penelope's a dinosaur and all of the other kids in her class are humans. And humans look delicious to Penelope, and all she wants to do is eat them. Well, Penelope learns that we don't make friends by eating each other. And it's a silly story, but will prompt discussions with your students about how to make friends and how to keep our friends and how we should treat our friends by not eating them, but I'm sure they'll come up with other ways as well. So We Don't Eat Our Classmates is another great read aloud for talking about friendships in your classroom. Using picture books is such a powerful way to help students with important social emotional learning skills, especially about how to be a good friend, how to make friends, and how to keep your friends. By using picture books, students can see how other characters react in certain situations and helps them to apply that to their own lives. Because I think social emotional skills are so important, I have a huge collection of interactive read-alouds to go along with different picture books, each addressing a different social emotional learning topic. I will leave a link to that in the description box down below so that you can bring it into your classroom and help students understand these different skills using picture books, using their favorite characters, and how they can show better character both in the classroom and out. I hope that these friendship books were helpful for you. If they were, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below, because I'll be back next Sunday night with more read aloud tips and book ideas that you can take into your classroom right away. Have a great week.